It's early spring here in Michigan. You know, the ice is off now, the water's just starting to warm up, the trees are just starting to bud, and that means the bass are starting to move up on the flats. You know, it can be a tricky time because a lot of these lakes have expansive flats, so you got to cover a lot of water, find the little edges and little corners where they're going to end up eventually spawning at, because they stage first before they move all the way up into the shallows. Got him. Flat calm. Not a big one. We are seeing a bunch of bass right now. I mean, it's just a post-frontal day right now, and you know, these fish are just in a mood to not really want to bite. I've been trying to throw some finesse baits and things like that, and it just hasn't been happening. And I've learned before that, you know, biggest thing is you've got to fish where they're at. So I'm covering water, I'm seeing them with my Costas. I can see bass on the edge of these breaks. Just the cast before, I had about a 3-pounder, follow up and chase it, just using a real natural color. And I've thrown at a bunch of them with little tubes, little swim baits, all kinds of finesse baits. So we'll see if we can't put it together, but somewhere there's gonna be a group of these fish that wanna bite. A big part of it is covering a lot of water, and you know, on lakes like this that are crystal clear and just don't have much vegetation or anything like that, that means you either got to finesse fish or you got to fish something like a jerkbait. I mean, those baits right there in this crystal clear water are really the best options to trigger these early season bass. Fish. Man, it's dead calm. Good one too. Just I mean, I have seen some bass today. Water's cold and we got a nice sunny day. We had a really big front the last couple of days come through, and these fish are staging. But man, I can't get them to bite a finesse bait, can't get them to react to much. But the action of that jerkbait, I mean, to me, this is one of the best fish finding tools. You know, now when you pair that with Mega Live 2, it's just so easy to see that something's tracking it or not. So, you know, I mean, I could physically look on days like today, but if the water was dirty or anything else, you know, we had clouds or wind and you can't see, that tells you if there's something behind it. So, and I'm seeing it way out there, over 100 foot on my Mega Live 2. So the biggest difference that I've learned is that I've got my transducer setting a lot higher. So I've got it pointing more forwards. I've got it 8 clicks up from straight up, and it really makes a big difference. And I can see that bait splash even on a long cast, and I can follow that bait the whole way in. It's real nice when you got clear conditions and clear water where you can actually see the bass with your eyes, but in the situations you can't, that's where Mega Live really shines. It has taught me so much, you know, since I've started using it, about bass behavior, just fish activity, how their moods change, and really a lot of things that I didn't even realize or know that they did. Got that one. Feels like a good one. They're just finally starting to get a little more active. Nice one. I mean, you would think this time of year you'd catch them with a finesse bait, a jig or drop shot or Ned rig or something, and I can't get them to chase anything other than that jerkbait. And it's just, you know, with the Mega Live, you can tell when one's following it. So that's when you know when you can just really work it. I mean, look at how fat he is. They're getting ready to come up and spawn. I mean, the water's 48 degrees, but there's just no wind. And they don't want to do it right now. But, you know, I've got the range set out to 120 feet. And, you know, you have to stay way away from them here because the water's crystal clear. I mean, I can see them plain as day, but with this, I can see when they're tracking it, and then you can actually, that's what with the great thing about a jerkbait is you can talk them into biting it. You know, you can see, man, what you got to do to make it react, to make these fish bite that bait or to actually attack it. And that's what I'm trying to do with it, is I'm watching it, I'm really popping it real hard. And as it's coming like that, you can see when one starts to track it, and slow it down, speed it up, and just try to make it super erratic. And that's the key to a jerkbait, and why it's such a good bait for live sonar like this. Got him. I'm learning. Wait till you feel them lock up on it before you set the hook. Just a little guy, but they are definitely starting to be more happy, getting a little more chasey. It's really easy to track your bait. You know, I mean, adjusting the trolling motor a little bit one way or the other, and the bait still stays in frame, and you can follow it. I mean, it's easy to see that jerkbait 90 or 100 feet out and just see every move that it's doing and see how the fish are responding to it. You know, today, that's been the key. Got him. Really nice one there. They are cold. Big old fat one. That's what you're looking for right there. Come here. Come here. Man, I've always, for years and years and years, it's been the mystery. You know, you look and you're looking for them, and if you can see the fish, and polarized glasses are still absolutely critical. You know, I mean, I've got the copper silver Costas on right now, and I'm using those to help, but being able to see that screen is really so critical to watch those fish and how they're reacting to your bait, and you know, tells me a lot of times what I need to do. You know, if I need to change colors or change my cadence or whatever it happens to be. But that's a pretty one right there. One of the biggest things about Mega Live 2 is that, I mean, the distance and the clarity is just so much better than what we had before. I mean, it's so easy to track those baits. You know, if you're pinging a minnow out in open water around bait balls, you see everything. When you start getting up around shallower water and cover, that's a good chance to move into landscape mode. I mean, that landscape mode gives you that full view, you know, kind of similar to almost like Mega 360, but all the time, real time, and you see the actual fish swimming around and moving around like that, you know, and it's a great tool for shallow water. Day in, day out, you know, I like mine on the forward mode. You know, I'm gonna have that, you know, that transducer set 6 to 8 clicks up from straight down, and that allows me to see everything from the bait splash at the end of my cast, to know that I've, you know, cast far enough if I'm trying to cast to a particular target. Say there's a grass clump or a stump or a dock or something like that. You can see that distance real easy by that bait splash. So it takes you just a little bit to get that figured out. Once you do that, you can really dial it in. Got that one. Feels like a good one. Smallmouth, a good one too. Oh, he's got a face full. I mean, man, it's just clouding up a little bit. We still really only have a ripple. And look at there. I mean, top to bottom. I watched him come up there. I can't even get a hold of him. He got so much jerkbait in his mouth. It's been a challenging day condition-wise, but you know, being able to see how these fish are reacting. I mean, I had it in my mind coming out here that I was 100% gonna have to catch these fish finesse fishing. You know, I'm gonna have to throw a Ned rig or, you know, a little tube, bitsy tube, something like that. And the only thing that I can get these fish to react to is a jerkbait. That's a good one. Mega Live 2 has 15 optimized color palettes for cleaner sonar returns. You get a great view no matter what the conditions are. You know, a jerkbait has always been one of my favorite choices with Mega Live. It's just a great tool that really draws the bass a long ways, you know, so you can throw it around targets, around drop-offs, break lines, and that's what I really like to do. You know, today I've been paralleling these transition areas on the edge of these flats, and you know, if any of the bass that are there, if they're off the, you know, off the edge or something like that, all of a sudden you'll see them start to track that bait, and you know that you need to change your cadence a little bit to get them to react. Humminbird's Mega Live 2 takes live sonar to a whole nother level. I mean, the distance, the clarity, the bait tracking, it's unbelievable, man. It's opened my eyes to so many opportunities out there on the water and made me a much better angler.